formal deprogramming. What does that mean? I mean, seriously, if this woman, the former Democratic presidential candidate, had all the power in the world, what would she do? I want to know. If you support Donald Trump, what would be her plan to deprogram us? And Christiana Amanpour from CNN, the same people who during Trump's entire presidency called him a dictator, he was a Nazi, they claimed at CNN that they were the ones fighting for democracy or whatever else they told themselves to sleep at night. She's just sitting there nodding, yeah, this is good stuff, I agree, just going along with it. Nowhere in there did she do what a real journalist probably should have done and push back and said, hey, Hillary, what do you mean by deprogramming? You just let it go. This is one woman that I genuinely believe is pure evil. I have had friends that were in her Secret Service detail over the years, and they could see her pure hatred. I will never forgive her for leaving my friends, people I knew personally in Benghazi, and then said this.
With all due respect, the fact is we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
Wow. I mean, we talked about this yesterday, this feeling that they know better than us, and we are somehow too stupid to know what's good for ourselves. I mean, seriously, if you are a Democrat, and I know you're watching because I get some of your hate mail, what would you go to Hillary Clinton for advice on in your life? If you had a problem at all in your life, would you turn to her and given the opportunity say, hey, Hillary, I could really use some practical advice on insert practical life question here? You think she's ever, I don't know, mowed her lawn, shoveled snow, or even picked up her own dry cleaning? No, of course not. That same person with no grounding to the rest of the country wants to deprogram me? No. So why would you take anything she says seriously? And she's not alone, though. She's just no longer running for anything, so she's free to say whatever she wants. But she is a reflection of how many Democrats think. It's scary. This is worse than her deplorable comments. She actually believes this stuff, by the way. But on the flip side, most conservatives, and I'd put myself in this boat, think that most Democrats can be halfway decent people sometimes and just have foolish or bad ideas. But Democrats, man, they think us conservatives, they think we're bad people with just ideas. And all of our ideas come from this bucket of treasonous thoughts because we oppose their utopian vision and total control. They don't understand why we don't want them in control. You see this disdain from key figures in the Democratic Party. They think we are their subjects. And when we stand up and say no, we must be squashed. We must be humiliated and called stupid in the public square by their wrath.
Half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
I don't want to hear you say, well, Hillary, and why didn't you give it? I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear people talk about, well, Biden did it.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Now is the time to do what you're told.
We can't trust the unvaccinated.
Walking around lawfully unvaccinated? That's psychotic.
No, screw your freedom.
Now do you see why I'm making such a big deal about this? These people are real threats to everyone who might not share the same opinion. All of them have either a ton of power, huge influence, or a big platform. Often they use fear, calling it, domestic terrorism, telling people that you're going to die if you don't do whatever we tell you to. The planet will end, or whatever other doom and gloom they can come up with. And people willingly give them control. The government grows, we lose our autonomy and freedom, and for many of us, they lose the will to resist. Here's the problem. These people think government is so star-spangled awesome when it's in control, when it's crushing their political opponents. But what happens when it's not something you support? We've seen Democrats flip out about this all the time. It was Democrats that changed the voting threshold of Supreme Court judges from 60 votes in the Senate to a simple majority, then called Trump's 3 Supreme Court appointees illegitimate when they were confirmed by the same process. It was Democrats that kicked members off the opposing party's committees when they cried, and they thought it was fine. But they cried foul when Republicans took control and did the same thing. How about the border wall? Democrats said a wall is useless. They cried racism when Trump built his border wall, yet now they turn around and are building it themselves. Instead of saying, oh, oops, Donald, you were right. Democrats are applauding Biden for taking action on the border, even though he just came to the podium and said, well, walls don't work. When Democrats are in charge, they steamroll Republicans. Republicans are only just now learning this, but we're still not getting the seriousness of how the pendulum swings. When liberals take charge, they swing that pendulum so far left, and Republicans only pull it back just a few inches when they're in charge. And before you know it, we have $33 trillion in debt and drag queens twerking in children's faces. This is what the Republican establishment doesn't get. All these people who supported McCarthy are screaming, Matt Gaetz has stopped the government from functioning. Yes, he did. That's exactly right. You say he doesn't have a plan? His plan is to stop the status quo from functioning. When the government functions, it does stupid things. And while the FBI is out using 2/3 of all of its resources to monitor Trump supporters, think about that. While Hillary Clinton is calling for a formal deprogramming of anyone who doesn't think they like her, you think just like her, yes, I also want to stop the status quo government from functioning. Don't you? I just want to do it long enough for Republicans to find a backbone, maybe elect a new leader that will actually do what they promised and not give an inch. Republicans have the power to stop everything, even though they're only in charge of 1/2 of the government. They can do it. Stop negotiating with this radical administration. Stop doing all the things that are giving them the power to strip up of our fiscal responsibility and all of our constitutional freedoms.